leopard in the tree. I see the leopard in the tree. Well done, VM. And leopards. Leopards also like to eat scrub hares. Now I have tragic news for you. I believe that VM has just spotted Tingana. Unfortunately, we are currently on the Simbambili cut line. So that is, I think, Tingana. Yo, it's hard to tell. He's got a kill. And he is up in a tree. And for us, unfortunately, impossible for us to get any closer. Well done, VM. Well spotted. A leopard in a tree. Lovely. Let me just take my... Sorry, this is not VM, this is me. My foot's on the brake. So, there's an animal that will eat a scrub hare. I don't necessarily think that's what we were going for. We don't have many stray cats in this area, back to what we were talking about, but we do have lots and lots of wild ones. Now, a scrub hare would not really feature on Tingana's menu, but you never know. They are opportunists of note, our leopard characters. Even Tingana is not above catching the odd scrub hare every now and again. Let's see how his limp is. It's a bit difficult to tell, but look at him, isn't he massive? Hello, Tingana, with your huge and thick and powerful neck. Giving his foot a jolly good clean. I think he does have a kill up here. The reason I say that is, first of all, I thought I saw something, and also he's got a nice round belly. And Tingana looking much, much better than when I last saw him, which was close to this area in Red Dam, where he was quite hungry. To me, he was looking a little bit thin. Now he is back to his usual marvellous self. He's in such a difficult position. A picture of balance and poise. Tingana? Ah, settling down on his branch. Don't you want to come this way, boy? That's a very tricky spot. Yay! We've had a really marvellous day so far. 2 cheetah, 1 new female leopard, and now our dominant male leopard of this area. And he is very warm and very, very full of food. I think it's Tingana. Obviously, it's really difficult to tell at this distance. That looks like Tingana to me, though. Look at that, he's looking right at us. His pink tongue sticking out, panting in the heat of the afternoon. What is he? Oh, he is licking his paw. Amazing how a leopard can find themselves perfect balance and perfect comfort on a branch like this. And we know, because we've tried it, that it's not as easy. Now, yesterday we were participating in an event organized by our lovely ladies of Final Control. So Kirsty, Jerry and Rebecca organized us the Bush Olympics, which involved several different events, one of which included climbing a tree at great speed. Naturally, as you can imagine, both Brent and Brian, and Jandre actually, all 3 of whom are very tall individuals, had a natural advantage. But it did give us a nice little perspective into what leopards experience on a day-to-day basis. And of course, we've got nothing on them, although I feel as though Brent and Brian did a relatively good job. They were up that tree so fast, it was truly incredible. I can't remember what Brent's time was, but I think it was by a landslide. Basically, Jerry climbed up into the apple leaf tree, hello boy, and tied a piece of tinsel, and then we all had to race up to try and touch it. And I think Brent took about 4 seconds to get up there. Tingana, of course, could have done it in 4 seconds as well, but it does give you some insight into how difficult it is, or how difficult it must be, to drag a carcass up into a tree, secure it safely using your mouth and your claws, and then find yourself a nice comfortable spot like this. And he's using his tail and his back legs and his front feet to balance himself perfectly. A very comfortable looking leopard. Oh, apart from the flies. Come this way, boy. This way. Come south. This is a difficult place. Should we try and see? I think the road curves a little bit further to the north, Liam. Should we try and see if we can get a better view? I don't think he's going anywhere. But let's reposition. I'm hoping to try and move the sun as well. Not move the sun, obviously. I'm not going to move the sun. I know I've got delusions of grandeur, but that's a bit dramatic. I'm not going to try and move the sun. I'm going to try and reposition so that the sun is slightly less straight into our faces. How's the view? Bit back. Those of you who are watching, sending us through some beautiful screenshots. There we go, that's a bit better. So thank you everybody for that. My apologies that I can't get any closer. For our new viewers, the reason that we are sitting where we are... Oh, there's another thing. Oh, it's a hyena. There is a hyena at the base of the tree. I'm not sure, VM, if you're going to be able to see it. It's off there. Oh, never mind. Yes, of course you're able to see it. Here we go. The patient hyena. Our two spotted predators. At a standoff, and then, oh yes, there we go, now we can see the kill. He killed an impala at some point. Most of it seems to be finished. No wonder he's got such an enormous belly. How lovely. Two of my favorite spotted predators. For new viewers, the reason that we are in the position that we're in is that whilst the animals don't have any boundaries in their 4 million hectare, 8.5 million acre wilderness area, we do. Not everybody can go everywhere, and unfortunately Tingana has killed and hoisted his impala. Oh, scooting. Getting more comfortable. He's put it in a spot where we cannot get any closer. That was such a cute reposition. Cute is the wrong word for Tingana. That was such a lumbering reposition. So we cannot go any further north. You might see some other vehicles arriving. They might come and join us, but they will be able to go in and have a closer look. Whereas, unfortunately, our lot in life is to look at him from here. Not that I'm complaining. It is a beautiful view. And there's nothing more iconic, or there's no more an iconic way to see a leopard than to watch them spread-eagled across a branch. As James would put it most poetically, the boughs of the tree, cradled in the boughs of the tree. Perhaps might be a James-type expression. Giving us a really nice view of his rosettes, the type of spots that leopards have, rather than just solid spots, as they have around their feet. As you move up towards their back and along their side, they almost seem to have rosettes. Oh, such a tired leopard. It's difficult getting comfortable when you have a belly full of impala. A very interesting question, Jen. Thank you for that, and good afternoon. I hope you are enjoying our view of this lovely leopard. Jen wants to know, we were watching him lick his paws, whether or not that helps to cool them down. And Jen, it may well play a little bit of a role. We know that animals do lose heat through the pads of their feet, not as much as they lose through panting. And obviously there's a trade-off. I think he was cleaning his paws because he'd been using them to help him reposition his kill. And they are, of all of their body parts, cats are most fastidious about their paws themselves. I'm not discounting the possibility, Jen. I think it's entirely possible that they lose a bit of heat every time they lick the bottom of their paw and then the wind blows over it. But in this case, I think it was just serving a cleaning purpose. But a really lovely question and a very good point. Because, of course, these cats can't sweat in the same way we do. And particularly for lions, it becomes a very, very warm business being a lion, with a belly full of rotting meat, which, as you can imagine, is not a cool process. It produces a great deal of heat as they digest that amount of food. So not only have they got the African heat to contend with, but they've also got the process happening inside of them. Which is why whenever we see a full leopard or a lion or even a full cheetah, they tend to be very relaxed and quite prepared to just lie in the shade and pant their way through the day. His tangling feet. My favorite thing to watch with a leopard lying in a tree is the way that their paws dangle over the edge. Now, to go back to what's happening here for newer viewers, just to go back into what is playing out here, we've got a leopard in a tree. Oh, sorry, before we go into that, X-Ranger, just to finish off our conversation, X-Ranger also loves the dangling back feet. I don't know what it is, there's just something, and the tail combination that I find, it's always the thing, whenever you see a photograph that people have taken, it's always the thing that attracts my attention first. Just look at the dangling back feet. It looks so comfortable. Hey boy, you comfy there? Amazing. That piercing look, even at this distance. Sorry, what I was going to go into for new viewers is we've got a leopard. I should know the difference by now. We've got a leopard in a tree with some food, and we've got a spotted hyena hanging around underneath. And this is a very, very common scene. Now, hyenas, whilst they are more than capable of hunting for themselves, a lot of the time they play the patience game, which often involves sleeping underneath where a leopard's hidden its kill. And that, of course, he or she is the main reason why leopards hoist the way that they do, so that it keeps it out of reach of our scavengers. Because pound for pound, a leopard isn't even a big male leopard, although a big male leopard would make a hyena think twice about tackling him. But pound for pound, a hyena is a more powerful animal, and a leopard will generally relinquish their kill if they can't get it up into the tree quick enough. So now we've got the hyena playing the patience game. I know that you had a scene with Karula and a hyena lying up close together. It's something we've seen on a relatively regular basis. We saw it most recently with Tiani Salaeshe, the two female leopards of this area, and I believe a hyena that some of you have nicknamed Milky Way, with one blind eye, which I love, by the way. I was thinking Galaxy, but Milky Way works as well. So you often see lions and what is wrong with me? Why have I got this obsession with lions? Leopards and hyena lying in very close proximity. And the hyena just waiting for the opportunity, for the moment when either Tingana makes a mistake and he positions the carcass in the wrong way, and the carcass is starting to fall apart. I mean, it's essentially held together by bits of skin and a head. And the hyena's waiting for that moment where something drops off and it manages to collect the scraps, or perhaps the entire thing, if Tingana is incredibly unlucky. We're going to spend our next few moments with our lovely leopard resting in a tree, but let us jump onto the back with Brent, who has finally succeeded on World Elephant Day in bringing you some elephants. There we go. Now, Ellen, I actually thought I had read something along those lines, so thank you for that. Ellen Fowler has sent through an update that apparently Tingana stole this kill from Shadow and her cub. Now, I had read about that, I just didn't realize that it was this particular kill that he managed to nick from her. Or, in fact, that it was so clearly visible from our boundary line. But thank you for that, Ellen. I didn't realize it was here, but it is interesting information. So Shadow is the female leopard that her territory is a sort of a very long, thin one on the boundary of the Queen Karula's, her mother. And Shadow has got a roughly 5-month-old female cub with her. And Tingana is most likely the father. We'll never know we will know for sure, but not just yet, or not anytime soon. But we know that Shadow has mated with him regularly. He is the dominant male leopard of this area, and his territory spans over that of several different females, including Saleheshe and her cub, who we've only recently started seeing, Shadow and her cub, Karula and her cubs, Tundi and her cubs. All of these leopards are part of Karula's lineage, apart from Saleheshe. And right towards Cheetah Plains and Torchwood, although there his boundary line is drawn with another male leopard called Shimbambalana. And he is right on the boundary with another male leopard at the moment. Now, the other male leopard in this area his name is Anderson. I have yet to see the Anderson male, nor do I know why he's called the Anderson male, come to think of it. I'm assuming after somebody called Anderson, or perhaps a place called Anderson. That's usually how these leopards get names like that. I've never seen the Anderson male, although he is apparently rumoured to be absolutely enormous. I know that he has been seen on the live drivers before, but Tingana is no pipsqueak himself. He is a massive male leopard in his prime. He must be close on to 10 years old now, with his enormously powerful neck, who has fathered many generations of little leopard cubs, despite the aspersions that some were casting upon his fathering capabilities after he was seen mating with several females several times without any sign of cubs or pregnancy. But that, of course, is now completely changed, and all three females that we've seen him mating with are now proud moms of leopard cubs of different ages. From Karula's are the oldest at 6 months old, and then Shadow's, and then Tundi's recent litter that we have yet to see, and that I'm so excited to see. Because I have to tell you, if I had to pick a favourite female leopard, no, not a favourite. I have a soft spot for Tundi, let's put it that way. I don't know what it is, but I really like her. And Tingana, of course, is always lovely and picturesque to see. He's presented us with some amazing sightings. The last time I saw him, he was wandering through a drainage line, marking his territory. And perhaps tonight, if we are able to, because the kill is in a tree, if we were to return here, and perhaps he were to decide to move off from this kill, although I don't think he's going to go too far, to be honest. With that enormous belly, there might not be any meat left, or much meat left. But he's still got a lot of digesting to do. But perhaps, depending on how the evening goes, he might decide to come down and start to give us that incredible sawing territorial call that leopards give. We'll just have to see where the afternoon takes us. Oh, it's exhausting work digesting. And James Richard is affronted on the behalf of the leopards. Perhaps affronted is the wrong word, but James has pointed out that perhaps we need a World Leopard Day, or when is World Leopard Day, since our lions and our elephants have been getting plenty of attention and love, which of course we do not begrudge them at all. But a valid point, James, and I have absolutely no idea when World Leopard Day would happen to be. I'll have to double check that. Is there a World Leopard Day? There must be. I mean, if there is a World Bow Tie Day, which I only found out this morning upon the conversation with Brent and Brian, if there is a World Bow Tie Day, then surely there must be a World Leopard Day as well. It is interesting that the World Lion Day and the World Leopard Day fell in such close proximity to each other, but it's nice. It gives us a really nice opportunity for awareness raising and just a time to appreciate the amazing animals around us. But James is right. Maybe we should make a World Leopards Day, JR. Celebrate our different leopards. We've been off to a good start today. One new female leopard this morning. And Viam, you filmed that leopard as well. No.
I was snoozing this morning.
Oh, were you snoozing this morning? Oh, so you missed out. I'm sorry to hear that. So Viam was snoozing this morning, so he didn't film the new female leopard. But we've definitely been off to a good start in terms of our lovely spotted cats. But then the problem is, James, then we need a National Buffalo Day. Well, maybe not a Buffalo Day. I'm going to stick to the endangered animals. National Pangolin Day or International? The hyena just moved off. Where did it go? Is it coming towards us, or is it just going into the shade? Because that might be quite a nice surprise. Let's go forward a bit and just double check. Because it might give us a nice opportunity to look at a spotted predator of a different kind, especially if this one is moving towards us. Where's this hyena gone? And Belly, unfortunately, this is one of the reasons why I'm trying to find our hyena again. Unfortunately, very sadly, our hyena have not returned to Djuma once again. Look, they're always there. They come through each and every single night. Their tracks are around that area. Where's this hyena gone? Must have gone to go and lie in the shade. Oh, seeing those off-road tracks going a bit closer, it's terribly tempting. But unfortunately, rules are rules. But it's just there. It's just there. It's so close. I don't know where this hyena went now. He must be hiding somewhere flat. Belly, and for newer viewers, oh, there's another vehicle coming in. Unfortunately, our hyenas remain denning away. Oh, hold on. The Tingana's now up. How's that? Pardon? Oh, further back. A little bit further back. I wonder what prompted him to get up. Maybe just discomfort. Oh, a very, very interesting question from Alice. And I'm trying to think of the best way to answer this, because she's raised a valid point. Alice's question is, why do people have such an empathy for a leopard, but not for something like an impala? Do we not have empathy for impala? I wouldn't go so far as to say that. I think I always feel a little bit sorry for the hapless creature that has become the leopard's next meal. Sorry guys, I'm listening to the game drive comms. At some point we are going to have to leave this sighting. We did kind of sneak in here, although not quite. We're still very far away from him. Alice, I think that people feel a natural connection to leopards and lions, and I think often to the point of it being slightly unfair, because they're beautiful and they are graceful, and there's something that we find amazing within them that intrinsically attracts us. Perhaps just that little hint of fear of them as well, is at one point they would have hunted human beings. Aha! There is a male lion on Djuma that I've just heard. Sorry guys, the game drive comms have suddenly taken off spectacularly, and I've got too many voices happening in my ear at one time. But Alice's question is an interesting one, because it is true. We take impala for granted, but I don't think, Alice, necessarily that it's a lack of empathy. I think it's an acknowledgement of the natural order of things. So you cannot begrudge a leopard its meal any more than you can begrudge a lion its meal. I feel sorry for that buffalo with his injured tail, but at the same time he had a lucky escape, and the lions went hungry last night. It is just the natural cycle of things. For me, what saddens me out here in the bush, my heart no longer breaks whenever something natural happens to an animal. But for me, it is far, far worse when a human being has played a terrible role in whatever has been inflicted upon that animal. That is where I find the tragedy. But that's slightly separate to your question. I do think human beings are intrinsically attracted to the idea of leopards and lions. whenever you get new guests, almost invariably the first thing they want to ask for, or they want to see, unless they're regular safari goers, is a leopard and a lion and maybe an elephant. And they don't necessarily get quite so excited as we do about things like trumpet or hornbills in places where trumpet or hornbills are not often seen. Hey, Tingana. Oh, he thought about settling down. Oh, there we go. I think he just can't find a comfortable place for his stomach. That's why he keeps shifting around. Not that he wants to come down, he just can't quite find a comfortable spot. Resting on that enormous belly, he can't lie on his side. Oh, well, there we go. Thank you to Mauricia. JR, apparently we missed the boat. And International Leopard Day was on the 3rd of May. So there we go. We do have a Leopard Day, an International Leopard Day, but we missed the boat on that one. Whoopsie. And perhaps we didn't realize, in fact, we definitely didn't realize that it was, in fact, International Leopard Day. So there you go. They are not without their own day. Okay, let's go back to where we were before and get a slightly better view of what's happening with Tingana. How's that? A bit further. There we go. He's got a branch behind his head. I think that will do for now. Unfortunately, it's not going to get much better than that. And Cat in Tampa, lovely, lovely message from you. But although we have missed International Leopard Day, we have not missed International Snow Leopard Day, which is on October 23rd. And that's definitely a day we can all get behind. Whilst we don't have any snow leopards here, we do have their cousins, and it is a dream of most of ours, I think, to be able to go and see a snow leopard in the wild. I know it's very difficult, next to impossible. Imagine that. Snow leopards live. You can dream. We can dream. We can dream big. And certainly there are all kinds of exciting prospects in our future. Imagine getting to know a family of snow leopards like we know a Karula and them. Unfortunately, that's not something... What we have here in the Sabi Sand is pretty much the best possible way of viewing these wild leopards out in their completely natural habitat and behaving as they would in their day-to-day lives without any concern for us. And that's due to years and years and years and years of very hard work in terms of habituating them and getting them used to the presence of vehicles, which in turn contributes to their survival and ultimate success, because tourists pay money to come and look at them, and money helps to fund conservation, unfortunately. It's the world that we live in. Money makes the world go round, even in conservation terms. So by being able to be comfortable around vehicles, leopards are essentially, or getting leopards to be comfortable around vehicles, essentially allows us to invest in their future. I think at some point relatively soon we are going to leave our male leopard and go off in search of this lion that apparently has been sitting on Djuma the entire day. It must have been him that we heard roaring this morning. They were shouting all over the place. And possibly he was part of the buffalo hunt that apparently was unsuccessful. So we'll enjoy our last few moments with Tingana and then probably move off. A hot and sleepy afternoon. And I think we shall. I think we shall leave him for now. We will try and come back depending upon what the lineup is. There are other vehicles waiting to enter into the sighting, and I want to go and investigate where that line is. And if we can, then we will come back to him towards the end of the day as it starts to get a little bit cooler. I think for now, let us leave him be. In the meantime, while we move off and go and find that male lion, let's head back over to Brent and find out what he's been up to.